Ramadan Mubarak to all the Muslims of the world. Viewers, fasting is a willing abstinence from food and drink for a particular time period. Apart from the religious aspects and aims of Muslims behind fasting in Ramadan, we are going to discuss its health benefits and especially the ways of healthy fasting. Sometimes viewed as unhealthy, depriving, or full of stress, short term fasting can have humongous health benefits. Fasting, according to many studies, is the well founded mean of controlling weight and preventing numerous diseases. But remember, unhealthy fasting can be threatening and lethal. Now, before going towards diet we should take for fasting, let's discuss the science of fasting. When we fast, we put our bodies under a mild stress. The body does not have its usual access to glucose. To fulfill its requirements, it forces the cells to manage some other ways that otherwise are not stimulated when the steady stream of nutrients are always available for the body. First of all, for survival, cells will start eating up weakened organelles, wastes, toxins, and would result in a proper cleansing process. Secondly, the body begins gluconeogenesis. Glucose, new, and genesis the creation of. Okay, so basically, it's a process of producing glucose from non carbohydrate materials such as fats, amino acids, and lactate. Moreover, during fasting, our body enhances the basal metabolism to conserve energy and thereby lowering our heart rate and blood pressure. Ketosis. It is a process that occurs later in the fast cycle and happens when there are lower sugar levels in the body. The body starts to burn stored fats as its primary power source instead of sugars. This particular shift in mode also happens when you are on keto diet, but we will make a complete video on keto diet later on. Now the question is, what would be the healthy fasting? No doubt there are numerous healthy benefits of fasting, but don't forget the needs of your body. Your body needs adequate amount of water, vitamins, sugars, proteins, minerals, fats, and dietary fibers. So, drink a good quantity of water in suhoor and iftar, that is before fasting and after fasting. And obviously it is pretty hot outside. In many parts of the world nowadays temperature reaches almost 40 degrees, so it would be much better if you add some lemon and salt. It will help in replenishing your electrolytes lost while sweating. Eat hydrating fruits such as watermelon, oranges, and vegetables such as cucumber, tomatoes, etc. to get some bonus electrolytes. But one thing I should say here, do not think so that the water you drink before fasting will be stored in your stomachs. I mean, no way. Are you a camel? They have the ability to store water in their bodies. You don't have. So 4 to 5 cups of water might be enough, rather than drinking liters and liters. Excess of everything is bad. Now I see many people wondering what should they eat in suhoor and iftar. So you see, it's a simple concept. In suhoor, you need those foods that provide you wholesome energy to last until iftar. Eating complex carbohydrates could be a solution, such as fruits, vegetables, beans, chickpeas. These will continue providing you adequate energy throughout the day. You can add healthy and saturated fats like avocado, unsalted nuts, olive oil, and for proteins, eggs, milk, and shakes are recommended too. Now it comes iftar time. Your body is, empty, deprived of every nutrient almost, and thirst is at its peak, hunger is at its peak. You have no energy even to set the iftar table. At this time, you need quick sources of energy, including sweet drinks, lemon water, fruits like bananas and apples provide you instant energy. Even 3 to 4 dates can fill you entirely with a handsome amount of energy. Potatoes are also an immediate source of energy. But again, remember not to eat a lot instantly. This results in weight gain. Point to be noted that extra sugars in your meals will make your thirst even worse. So avoid drinking fizzy drinks. First of all, it can damage your empty stomach and kidneys. Also, it tends your body to be dry as a bone. Tea and coffee. Undoubtedly, majority of the people are addicted to tea or coffee and they really don't want to listen anything against it. But sorry to say, your beloved tea and coffee contains caffeine, which somehow makes you urinate frequently. So avoid caffeinated drinks in your Ramadan meals. If you can't survive without them, then at least decrease their uptake. Last but not the least, avoid fried food. This will ruin your aim of getting any health in Ramadan, I'm telling you. Yeah, we know our iftar is incomplete without those pakoras, samosas, and fries, etc. But maintain a balance. Eat everything but calculated, balanced, and well defined. Do not compromise on your diet, especially in Ramadan, because pandemic is at its peak and diet can weaken your immune system. You become more vulnerable to virus. So, we hope you will experience a better Ramadan this time by following the above discussion. Please subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon for more informative videos. Comment us below your Ramadan diet. Stay safe, stay blessed. Thank you so much.